Hey Sherry, what are you doing?
I am starting my plants for the garden.
Starting your plants for a garden. That's a great idea for something to do as a family in the spring. But that doesn't really look like a flower pot that you've got in your hand.
No, it is actually a piece of an egg carton, so a third of an egg carton with 4 little spaces. And at Schneider Haus for the last few years, we have been using these to demonstrate our 4-square garden method that we use here. So in our traditional garden for the kitchen, we have 4 different plots. And in this egg carton, we've got 4 different plots. So we have been filling them as a craft that people could take home, but you could totally do this at your house. The egg cartons will break down in the soil, so they're kind of nice to use. So fill it with a bit of soil, and then I would put no more than about 1 seed into each quarter. So I've got pea seeds. Peas are what we'll be putting in first in our garden. They like a bit of cool weather. I've got scarlet runners, so like pole beans with beautiful red flowers that will attract the hummingbirds and the butterflies to your garden. And then I've got cabbage, which every traditional garden, and maybe you can put a couple of cabbage seeds in there because they're quite tiny. The Schneiders would have had lots and lots of cabbage so that they can make sauerkraut. And then these seeds are actually pretty cool to look at. I don't know if you can get a close-up of them. They kind of look like bugs, but they are actually the seeds for calendula, which is a beautiful orange flower that we grow in our garden. It's also sometimes called pot marigold. And we here at Schneider Haus use the flower petals in ointments for skin cream. They're great for your skin, great for your scalp, great for diaper rash if you have diaper rash or children with diaper rash. So you basically get all these in here, and then we'll add a little water, keep it on a nice warm window, and maybe on a tray so it doesn't get wet anywhere. And when the time comes, you can break them apart, maybe open up the bottom a bit and set them right into your garden and get growing outside.
Sounds like a great way to have something to do for the spring. Thanks so much, Sherry.
Welcome.
I'm here in the garden shed with Sherry. Sherry, what are you making?
I am making a pot for starting seeds out of newspaper using a mason jar.
Fantastic. Sounds like a great way to recycle.
It is a great way to recycle and to use things that you probably have at your house already. So we will put up some information on how to cut out a piece of newspaper that suits your pot. For me, I'm going to take my mason jar. I'm going to put it at the edge so that my end of the mason jar that's closed is at my folded edge. I'm going to roll up my newspaper, use my hand there, like this. And then I'm going to take, the reason this is empty here is so I can stuff the newspaper into the bottom of the jar and create a bottom to my pot. Then very gently get my jar. You can use a tin can as well.
How about a yogurt cup?
Yogurt cup would be perfect. Then you take, you'll notice that we had cut a little edge off there. Hold it inside and it sort of locks your pot in place. Squish the bottom down from inside and there you have a newspaper pot.
Looks ready to plant some seedlings.
Mm-hmm.